Day after day, your own life's a wreck. The power is to be, just breathe on your neck. You get no respect, you get no relief. You gotta speak up and yell out your piece. So back off your rules, back off your jive. I'm sick of not leaving to stay alive. Leave me alone, I'm not asking a lot. I don't wanna be controlled. It's all I want. 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 Yeah.
Thomas didn't take Ted's death well. Ted, who, besides Bertie, was the person Thomas trusted most, and now knowing they're gone without saying goodbye really took a toll on him. While helping Thomas, Toby decided to tell us more about the day this all started. Apparently, he was at Knapford with Henrietta waiting for some passengers to board. While waiting at the station, he heard sirens followed by a loud roar which still made him shudder. He saw Gordon run past telling them to run as he was sent down the branch line, and that's when he saw the mist. The fog sirens kicked on and Toby began to run, but just as he was gaining speed, the coupling between him and Henrietta broke. He begged his driver to go back, but it was too late. Henrietta was taken by the mist. He didn't stop till he reached Tidemouth Sheds, where he sat for several days. While he sat in the sheds, he saw several engines go past, but he couldn't remember who they were. However, when we began questioning his crew and the infection, he began to trail off. Eventually he just went quiet. Supposedly all he could remember was that it burned. Clearly, he wasn't giving the full story. Toby then broke down apologizing, saying he failed those people, now he's a freak. Thomas comforted the tram engine to our surprise. I think he's starting to gain hope. We also talked about what could have caused all this. Sam said that the facility could have been leaking some chemicals into the atmosphere and ocean, causing the strange mist and animals to possibly mutate. This is what we got, and it would explain the mist, animals, and even the engines, but that wouldn't explain Douglas' voice we heard earlier or what Toby had said about the mist's call. I just hope those chemicals aren't still in the air. While waiting in the coaling plant, a few things went past us. First, I think I saw Duck, Oliver and Toad. Oliver was begging Duck to stop, but Duck didn't respond. He just kept screaming. I think. Then I saw something huge moving through the mist, and it picked one of the guards. There was nothing we could do as the thing picked him up and took him deep within the mist till we could no longer hear his screams. We went to Thomas and Toby and asked what they were and why they never told us about them. Toby had no idea what they were and never saw them. But Thomas just froze and didn't say anything. He looked so remorseful. We left him be for now, but now I don't know what we'll do. Thomas finally opened up. Those things showed up around a week and a half ago. Their original base was at the quarry, but those things attacked. One picked up Terrence and killed him. Thomas hid Salty and Fergood in the shed so they could be safe, but the mist went dark around them, and Thomas watched as he could do nothing as his friends were turned into horrible monsters. Strangely, Thomas was spared by the beasts. He sat there thinking, with his barely intact mind, thinking about what to do. He eventually had to leave as Salty and Fergood were breaking out of the shed. He eventually found Gordon at Brendam, who said Duck and Oliver were going to escape to the mainland for help and be heroes. They never did come back. It was him, Gordon, Emily, Bill and Ben. Gordon was sent to guard the entrance to the branch, and when he returned from his shift, he said something about how he saw Percy and it. Then the docks were attacked by the infected Salty and Fergus. We didn't believe him. We never went through Wellsworth being chased by it, and the coaches he's describing sound like the old brown coaches. Well, we have the newer male ones. What is going on with our world? We decided to head down the main line to search for any clues as to where this other Percy may be. Hopefully Toby and Thomas will be alright for a little while. While heading down, the mist was thicker than normal, so we had to be careful. My God, I can't believe it. Thomas wasn't lying. As we approached Kildane, we saw some coaches off the line with scattered passengers who looked as though they had tried to escape. When we made it closer, we couldn't believe the engine connected to the coaches. It was Percy. Our Percy began freaking out at the sight of his own corpse. This Percy was dead, and he was infected. We checked his cab for a bigger surprise. Sam's lifeless corpse just lying there. It looked as though when Percy crashed, he was flung into the controls and was killed on impact, but even stranger, I wasn't there. We checked the surrounding bushes, but no sign of my corpse. This is troubling. How could there be two of us? Where is my other version? What were the passengers running from? It doesn't make sense. We then saw the mist grow darker, so we hopped back into Percy's cab and raced back as fast as we could. We ran back into the coal depot where we were shocked to see Donald 98,462 and a van who Donald kept calling Douglas. Apparently 98,462 was brought back to Sodor as that research facility's permanent engine. 98,462 said he found Donald hiding from those monsters. Donald got he was a goner, but Duck and Oliver ran past distracting the beast, giving 98,462 enough time to rescue Donald. Donald was the same as when we found him, but worse. Now his mind is completely shattered and won't stop talking to the van about how the beasts were gods, and I think he said something about sacrifices. He's not stable, so we're going to leave him be for now. Two of those monsters just showed up, and dear God, they were huge. We hid the engines where they wouldn't be found. Donald wouldn't keep quiet, so 98,462 told him to shut up. Donald must have snapped, and he pushed 98,462 out of safety and right in front of the beast. 98,462 looked at Donald and quietly begged him not to do it. But he didn't listen. Donald blew his whistle, and the beast came towards them. Donald reversed back, and poor 98,462 didn't have time to react as the thing picked up the helpless B-12. He was then taken into the mist where his screams slowly ceased. Percy, Toby, Thomas and the other survivors couldn't believe what they had witnessed. Toby went face to face with Donald asking why, and all he said was that they must appeal to those to be saved, to be reborn, and that we should be more like Douglas. Toby yelled saying Douglas is dead, and he should regret what he had done. Donald then looked blankly at him and said, out of everyone you should agree with me, you're one of us. That's when we realized Donald was infected by the mist like Toby. This must be the influence of the alternate personality the mist can give to those. His face then began to warp and change, and as a matter of fact I don't think I could call it a face. We knew he was too dangerous to stay alive. So Toby pushed Donald in front of the other beast and rang his bell. The monster saw Donald. Donald laughed saying that it could not kill him. But that didn't stop the beast from coming towards him. Donald began to get worried and said that he worshipped them, he fed them, and that they couldn't kill him. The beast soon finished off the Caledonian engine.